Greetings everyone, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, here to bring you another episode review from Season 5 of The Loud House. Today's episode is titled, Director's Rut. First we'll discuss the plot, and then my thoughts and critiques with my final score. So, let's get right into it. The episode begins with Luanne finishing a script for a playwriting contest for the school drama club, which she does in fact win. When it comes time to direct the play, her friends start improvising their characters, but Luanne is too scared to tell them not to do it. In an effort to get things back on track, she uses Mr. Coconuts to get everyone to stick to the script, but this causes everyone to quit the play before opening night. After having a talk with Mrs. Bernardo, Luanne apologizes for how she handled her directing, and her friends apologize for what they tried to do to Luanne's script. They go on to perform the play, and it goes off without a hitch. Well, that concludes the plot of the episode, so now we come to my thoughts and critiques. I always had a theory about Luanne for the past few seasons, and this episode more or less confirms something about her character I had long suspected. Naturally, Luanne never comes off as a very strict or demanding character, and more specifically, she has a hard time expressing thoughts and feelings that, well, make her feel uncomfortable. So she uses her puppet, Mr. Coconuts, to channel the thoughts and feelings she really wants to say, but can't out of fear or shame. It sort of reminds me of Mr. Garrison and Mr. Hat from South Park. And if you watch the Dr. Katz scene from the episode Summer Sucks, you get an idea on why people will use inanimate objects to say what they want to say, and realize they use said objects as a way of not taking responsibility for what comes with saying what they want to say. Like, I didn't say it, the puppet said it, so don't start coming after me. Even Luanne has done this with Mr. Coconuts in episodes like Stage Plight and Snoop's On, since she makes it clear her wooden friend, in his own words, doesn't hold back on what he wants to say and has no problem laying down the law. So at least we have a better understanding on why this girl and her puppet are usually seen together a bit more often than usual, and why she tends to switch personalities from time to time. But now, on to the episode itself. Somewhat similar to how Lenny had an inner struggle as the Funager in the episode Leader of the Rack, Luanne had her own struggle in wanting her play to go the way she originally intended, and her friends weren't making it easy. They kept wanting to make changes to their characters, with some being quite out there, and it looked like they were trying to guilt Luanne into letting them do whatever they wanted. I understand that actors will usually improvise what they do on set, and I have a feeling some of the justifications for the kids making changes were inspired from the scripts they wrote for the contest, but they never really make it clear on why they didn't just stick to the script as it was written. Is it possible they were taking advantage of Luanne's kind-heartedness? Were they trying to hijack their friend's play out of jealousy by inputting their own ideas into the show since they lost the contest? All we get at the end is them saying they're sorry for messing with the play. Of course, Luanne apologizes as well for saying she should have just spoken up when she knew her friends were turning her play into anything but her original creation. I can see why Luanne felt she needed to apologize, since she was really cracking down on everyone when she started using the more blunt-spoken Mr. Coconuts to get things done, even going so far as to verbally and physically abuse the cast. In her defense, she needed to get things under control before opening night, and have everyone stick to the vision she wrote. So in her mind, using Mr. Coconuts was a last resort. I get why her friends would quit after being chastised, but they were being selfish both before and after Luanne started giving orders through Mr. Coconuts. You could say Luanne was also in the wrong for not finding the right balance between friendliness and getting down to business, but her friends were more in the wrong than her, and it really would have been their fault if the play didn't happen on opening night. Luanne just needed to find her voice, and that's where we come to Mrs. Bernardo. Ah yes, this teacher never fails to make an entrance. And even though she doesn't have all that much involvement in the episode, I really liked the little pep talk she gave Luanne. She was seeing how her fellow thespian was letting everyone walk all over her, effectively silencing her creativity, and that's not why she picked Luanne's script as the winning entry to the contest. She chose Luanne's play since it was about a woman who stood up and let her voice be heard, no one else's. That's the lesson Luanne needed to learn. If she wanted to honor the comedian Joni Sassafras, she needed to tell her friends what she wanted to say, not a puppet. Still, I did find it rather humorous everyone was just willing to take direction from a piece of wood instead of the person holding it. And we do get one of those fun fact moments. Did you know William Shakespeare had all his actors speak in a British accent? Wow, it's like all of his plays were written in Great Britain or something. I never knew that. The more you know. Overall, I really can't complain about this episode. Luanne had a vision, her friends wanted to do their own thing, and this young director didn't know how to properly get things to go the way she had planned from the get-go, and therefore started using her cocky puppet to get what she wanted. Like I said, my theory about Luanne using Mr. Coconuts as her way of saying the things she wants to say is pretty much confirmed in this episode, and while she's technically not wrong for using him to achieve her goal, she was achieving said goal at the cost of having her friends quit the play, even though it's really their fault for why Luanne did what she felt she had to do, and they never give a real reason as to why they wanted to make all those changes to the script in the first place. Luanne isn't the authoritarian type, and doesn't like to run the risk of others not liking her if she tells them no. So you do feel bad for her when it seemed like she was being taken advantage of, and her only way out was to channel some of her anger through Mr. Coconuts. Even so, she does learn to speak up when she has to, and not rely on a prop to express her thoughts. Does that mean she'll be using her wooden companion a little less often in future episodes when it comes to saying what's truly on her mind? It would be a nice idea, but we shall see. With that said, I give Director's Rut an 8.9 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of Director's Rut. Now this makes me wonder how things will be when Luanne becomes the oldest sibling in the Loud House when Lenny and Luna move out, and she has to be in charge of her younger siblings. Do you think they'd be taking orders from Mr. Coconuts? Now that I'd like to see. So as far as this episode goes, what did you guys think of it? Love it? Hate it? Something you would add? Change? Keep it as it is? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to this channel for the latest Loud House content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.